Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to a brand new TW9 video. You join us for episode 100 of the AEW Save. We're here for a pay-per-view, so it's worked out pretty well. We're here for AEW Revolution 2026. Pretty decent build-up, been pretty happy with it. And just even looking at that show we done in 2025, I think you can definitely tell the steps we've taken and the growth we've made within that 1 year period. The fact that, you had the likes of Tony Storm and Mercedes in a 60, I think you're probably looking at 80s for that easily. But Wilder main event was Darby Allin versus Claudio and the Christian cash-in. Oh my god, that was a year ago in game. That's absolutely wild how times have certainly changed with how we're at. So yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a good one. I just want to say thank you for everybody that's watched any videos. It gets done for the love of the game. I know it's no massive views, but at the end of the day, I'm enjoying the game. I hope people are enjoying the series. And yeah, I'm going to just keep doing episodes as long as I'm enjoying the game, which I clearly am, because I have this save and I have an offline save that I'm messing around on, and it's been a heap of fun. So yeah, I can only hope to get better, get a wee bit better entertainment. But at the same time, we've got these achievements to tick off, and hopefully this is going to be one step closer to doing so. So we've done all the big boosts that we've got. Ticket pricing I put as premium. I should probably just put it in none at this point, make them free events, because we obviously make our money through the network. But obviously it's not a great business thing in real life, but again, it's a fictional game. Legendary band, special set, the money's not an issue. So let's sit back, relax and watch AEW Revolution 2026 live from the Kaseya Centre in the southeast. So 15,306 fans have turned up, and we're straight in with the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line. It was about that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and Ua and Ricochet defeat Samoa Joe and Hook in 15:02 when Ricochet pinned Hook after using a foreign object. Ua and Ricochet make the 7th defence of the AEW World Tag Team titles, Ricochet carrying it with a fantastic 93 performance. The rest of the performances were pretty good, it must be said. 79 for the wrestling, 69 crowd, the 79 segment. We may also see a boost in performances. I did go with Inspire here, so then I've got the Inspire motivational talk for All In is the plan. But yeah, decent stuff there. Samoa Joe and Hook showing some excellent chemistry together, which is interesting, because you can clearly see the plan we're going beforehand. Ricochet rolls up Hook for the 1-2-3 and the champions steal one here. They squirm from the ring and they head up the stage with manager Paul Heyman as the official passes him the title belts. Whilst in the ring, Samoa Joe just looks disappointed in Hook. So a bit of frustration from Samoa Joe there. 70 segment, Paul Heyman looked good, and there was a potential turn hinted at for Samoa Joe, although if they've got excellent chemistry, that may be subject to change. Next up, it's a big match feel for another legendary battle. First up, we have the phenomenal AJ Styles, and then we have the entrance for the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Their storyline advances and gains heat. Okada's performance was good for his entrance, and it was a 73. Matchup was okay. I don't think it was ever going to be as good as the last time, but let's have a look and see what costs it, because there's some good performances in there. And about they had sensational wrestling and great heat. Kazuchika Okada defeats AJ Styles in 26-17 with the Rainmaker. Everything about the match was specifically designed to give it an epic feel in the eyes of the fans, and Okada makes the 4th defence of his international title. I don't feel I gave it particularly good build-up, so it's maybe even the storyline not having enough heat that probably cost it. But 98 for the wrestling, 77 crowd, 84 segment. The fact we've got AJ in 94 performance at his age, I know the great chemistry is obviously going to boost that, but the storyline advances and gains heat. But really, would you look at the storyline plus the 2 week commentators possibly negating so much in the rating? Let's have we look here. Both guys' physical condition, AJ Styles' stamina, the low heat, and that's fair enough. So maybe I'd had a wee bit higher with 98 there, but yeah, obviously the storyline's maybe not quite, because I think if you're going to get a 100 rating here, you need the storyline to be hot, rather than like, it's okay, it's not great, but it's maybe just hot, rather than extremely hot, whatever it is. We hear from Adam Cole. He is being interviewed by Renee Paquette, and he says, I would say for weeks, now let's be honest here, Gargano has been a pain in my ass for the last decade. I don't know what you have to prove by facing me, but it doesn't matter, because after I kick your ass tonight, I'll never ever have to deal with you again, and that is undisputed. So their storyline advances in an 80 rated segment, and it was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Adam Cole defeats Johnny Gargano in 1858 with the boom. 78 for the wrestling and an 82 segment overall. 83 for Gargano and a 73 for Adam Cole. He's someone especially, and I'd say in both saves I've got, they're both under the Real World Chronicles, but it's been very difficult to get Adam Cole to have good performances. I know his stats have taken a hit because of the situation. But yeah, he's tricky, but good one here. And the great chemistry probably takes him from a high 60 to a 73 performance. Moving up, it's the mystery partner that's joining up with the Motorset Machine Guns. It is another flippy shit, as MVP says. It's the debuting Ben Carter. That's that 38 segment. Yep, this was basically decided well before they decided this whole Twitter stuff. So it is what it is. But anyway, decent matchup. The Hurt Syndicate, Powerhouse Hobbs, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defeat the Motorset Machine Guns and Ben Carter in 12:42 when Bobby Lashley submits Alex Shelley with the Hurt Lock. I made this the steal the show match because most matches will go over 20 minutes, and it is the first defence of the Trios Championships for the Syndicate. In terms of performances though, Chris Sabin's had a shocker, a 43, really off his game. Everybody else was reasonably quite good. Shelton off his game, but still 57 is a lot better than Chris Sabin. So yeah, the flippy guys have not been able to take advantage of the Hurt Syndicate, but I decided that the Hurt Syndicate pick up a win. They have a 3-on-3 assault on the Challengers post-match. MVP starts getting involved as well. But then we have the whole locker room emptying out of wrestlers that are deemed light in size, and it's a mega beatdown of the Hurt Syndicate. So it's probably 11-12 on one here, and they retreat up the ramp to find safety. So I just added a few people that I felt fit that criteria. So you're looking at Action Andretti, Alex Reynolds, obviously Anthony Henry, R. Fox, who they had an issue with before. I read Daivari, Blake Christian. Cedric wanted to appear and get used in the show. I thought, you fit the criteria, you can jump in. Top Flight, Jay Lethal, Commander in there as well. Probably could have added a lot more guys to that, but yeah, that's enough to chase off the Hurt Syndicate for the segment. We had the superb wrestling match here with good heat as Kevin Steen defeats Eddie Kingston in 15:28 while using the ropes for leverage, so Eddie wasn't able to overcome that defeat that he's had previously, so he's not been able to get revenge. 86 to wrestling here, 82 segment overall, 88 for Eddie, 84 for Kevin. Their storyline advances with great heat. Great chemistry between them as well. It showed in their performances. Is the storyline just not quite up to standard? That's a shame. I thought it would be, but that declining physical ability for Eddie and both guys' physical condition is where we're at. But still, it's decent. It's not terrible. We then had a big match Monet moment, a major entrance for the CEO, Mercedes Monet, which was a 77. The angle idea we used as well was a success. And it was a good matchup as she defeats Queen Aminata in 22-23 with the bank statement. It's her 9th defence of the Women's Championship. It was a good spotlight to put Queen Aminata in, and considering she's got a higher rating than Mercedes, I would say it's definitely been a successful one. Not quite ready to carry the division yet, which is why Mercedes picks up the win. But 77 for the wrestling, 75 crowd, and an 81 segment. So yeah, pretty solid stuff there. Just a few negatives for Mercedes. We then had the TBS Championship on the line. This was a bout that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Mariah May defeats Takuma Aroha in 11:44 with the reverse bulldog. This was our storytell matchup of the night as I felt like it would be the weakest, and Mariah May makes her 4th defence of the TBS Championship, but still an outstanding performance from Takuma Aroha with the 84, and once we get her over, she's going to be a problem in this save, like she is in every other, but a good win for Mariah May. Hopefully that maybe gives her a wee boost in popularity. We then had the Wild Brawl that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Brody King defeats Malachi Black in 14:11 with the Gonzo Bomb. Both guys with the same level of performance, and the storyline advances with this one, gains heat. The segment's a 77, so yeah, the House of Black is over, and Brody King picks up the victory. We then moved on to the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships to see who would become the inaugural champions. And it was a decent matchup, and I opted to go with Athena and Billy Starks picking up the win over Jonah Daddio and Megan Bain, over Valkyrie and Becky Quinn, and the Monet Corporation's Bailey and Roxy. And they won in 1908 when Athena pinned Valkyria. I'll just go with that pronunciation with no face. 71 for the wrestling, 72 segments, pretty decent overall. The storyline advances and gains heat, and I think when you look at the level of performances you've got there, you've got quite a mix. The weakest being Roxy at 62, the highest being Bailey on 83, I think you'd probably get Becky up there if she wasn't really off her game. So it's about basically the established stars, which we would agree is probably Becky and Bayley in this instance, and getting those younger talents up to that level. But overall, pretty happy with it. We then cut backstage, obviously after his match. Now we can hear from Brody King, and he says Malachi tonight wasn't enough. This has to end for good. AEW Dynasty, me and you, casket match. So basically looking to end this once and for all, putting the opponent in the casket, and that'll be booked in 5 or 6 weeks' time. And a segment of 67, storyline advances, but loses heat. Next up was about that had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from our audience, and it saw Darby Allin defeat Gabe Kidd in a cage match in 11:51 with a pinfall victory after the coffin drop, a 4th defence of the AEW Continental Championship for Darby Allin. So in this one I gave both guys to take a stunt bump. Their storyline advances and gains heat. I'd say Gabe's not as over as I'd like in this, but I feel like just having them have a very quick match, but a very brutal match, is certainly a good place to put them at. And yeah, Darby overcomes the odds again. And then we say what an incredible bout. Not only has he survived, but he's a bloody mess, as Darby Allin remains your AEW Continental Champion and defeats Gabe Kidd. And that was 61. Not the best. Next up, we had a bout that had superb wrestling and great heat, as Konosuke Takeshita defeats Swerve Strickland in 27-29 by pinfall after a javelin kick, after a Don Callis interference to cost Swerve there. But annoyed that it's still a lack of psychology. I felt like Takeshita's, well, he's 82, but I was hoping that maybe enough to carry it. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Just depends on your role. But 94 wrestling, 91 segment overall. Callis getting a wee bit of revenge for Swerve tying him up, and it must put Takeshita in a good position going forward. So yeah, pretty good. Really happy with that. This one wasn't as good. Or maybe it did suffer from the creative finish being a failure, which is a shame because it said it was a safe bet. But it was superb wrestling, great heat. Walter defeats MJF in 23-49 with a lariat. 94 performance for Walter, 88 from MJF. But Walter proves his point, a 91 wrestling match with a 78 rated segment as storyline advances. It was a storyline the negative here. Yep, both guys' physical condition and the creative finish. So yeah, probably if we didn't have the failed creative finish, probably still would have looked about an 83, 84. The actual initial plan was to put MJF over, but I've got an idea that I can I need to work a few storylines to have a few things go, so Walter picks up the win, and we can see where that goes as the show continues. Although I think we are due main event time. And there it is. About that had superb wrestling and great heat, as the American Dragon Bryan Danielson defeats both Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher in 33-58 when Bryan Danielson submits Will Ospreay with cattle mutilation. It's a 4th defence of the world title for Bryan Danielson. So this one, 92 wrestling and an 89 segment overall. Bryan went 95. Ospreay, off his game and still gets a 92, is incredible. Fletcher went 90. The storyline advances. Excalibur was weak, but we did have a creative finish as a positive. I think what's mad to me is, in this situation, Kyle Fletcher is more over than Will Ospreay, which is why Will took the fall here. Will's in the mid-75 region. Fletcher's up at like 77. Any negatives here? The storyline's low heat and the creative finish was a positive, so I think you're probably looking about a 92 if those both were in the right place. Ospreay, if he's in it, but if he's doing better, I suppose you're looking at maybe a 94. I finished the show. Bryan has done it. He's picked up the win and he celebrates on the top rope, holding the AEW World Championship above his head. From the face tunnel clapping is Walter, and from the heel tunnel it's Don Callis alongside Konosuke Takeshita. Are they putting their hat in the ring for the next shot at the title? So 87, kind of teasing where we're going to go going forward. Storyline advances, gains heat. Good chemistry between Takeshita and Callis. Angle ID was a success, and this segment was an 87. I think if we can draw about a 91, 92 here, I would be fairly happy with that. 93, yep. The boosts have done their job, but yeah, overall, quite a strong, heavy main event scene. There's definitely a lot of people we're working on, and we need them to just not just develop popularity, but also just all-round skills, whether it be the physical side or even the mental side with the psychology. But I think most of it is kind of where I wanted it to go to, and puts us in a good place, heading towards Dynasty. I'm not going to bother with the locker room, that's fine. No injuries, money, we're capped out pretty much at this point, does not matter. So popularity, you can see we're in the 85, 86 ballpark in the US. It's fine, I don't think it's really matters. We're kind of like as high as we can get in terms of size. And we'll just cover the media scrum. AEW didn't do well in the US market. We'll continue to put on our best shows. Kenny Omega, I just gave him a little break. The whole roster should be proud of a very good show. I'm glad Juice's having a good time. I'm glad QT's having a good sign. Glad that AR Fox is having a good time. I'm glad that Maya Yamashita's having a good time. And the media scrum's be completed. So I'll jump into the main screen because it might take a bit to load here. And we'll just round up at one or two other things. So here we are, not really too much to cover, which is good. Fantastic reviews for the show. Nothing else actually directly affects us there. But we can confirm the signing of Josh Alexander. You'll be going heel. Claudio Castagnoli renewal and a Tommy Billington renewal, but you're going to go to Ring of Honor. Side deal. Blair Davenport has left the WWE, so Bea Priestley is a free agent. So we may look at her at one point. In fact, I'll just do the sensible thing. We'll just sign her to a... That's fine, but we'll make sure everything's alright. And we'll just put her to Ring of Honor. So we've got her under contract. Technically, none of these affects us massively. Zachary Wentz feels that ROH is too small, but I don't really have anything for you at the moment, Zach. I know you're doing some good stuff in Ring of Honor. You probably would have been doing good stuff in TNA. I'll see what I can work with. He could possibly work long term with the Motor City Machine Guns. Viewing figures was 34 million. Like, that's going to happen in real life. Confirmation of the Alexander one night only deal. Paul Heyman seems to be manipulating the locker against AJ Styles. That's right, they've got the... Where is it? Very strong dislike of Paul Heyman, of course they have. Paul Heyman is then also seeing Walter against AJ Styles and Ricochet as well. So does that mean, if I go back to this? Negative opinion of Ricochet, negative opinion of Walter, for fuck's sake, man. It's AJ Styles, man. How could you do this to me, Paul Heyman? So I'll need to work on those over time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I say we'll have quite a few shows now before Dynasty. But hopefully we can build up to a solid card. A few things I've already got in my head for this and for Double or Nothing as well. And to be honest, I've already got one match planned in for All In, which obviously is a long time away because we're back to the regular calendar, which is, yeah, the 30th of August, so a long way to go to that. Oh, I need to remember to do the Battle of Los Angeles correctly this time. Forgetting that's a thing. Too much planning ahead, let's hope we actually make it to All In. But thanks for watching, any comments are deeply appreciated, and a wee thumbs up is as well. Remember to check out the Fancy Bookers subreddit, Grey Dog Software Forums, twdb.com and bethebooker.net. And I might at one point, I haven't confirmed if I definitely will, I might just put up a tour of my offline save just to kind of give you an idea of what I'll be doing on that and how it differs for this. Might do it, might not. We'll see. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye bye.